Hello folks, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to be doing the July love reading for the sign of Leo. Alright, we're going to get right into it. Pull out your two angel oracle cards, Leo, and see what it's hitting for this July 2019. I hope you're all doing well so far. Alright, we're getting into the second half of the year. Interestingly enough, right, it's so weird this part of year, right? It's like it always strikes me because the days start to get shorter now, right? But it seems as though we've only just now scratched the surface of summer. But we are slowly creeping towards that winter solstice now. And it always reminds me of like the death card in a way, you know? As soon as you're born, you begin to die. As soon as summer is here, we begin to move towards winter. And so it is, you know. It's quite an interesting thought, really. Especially around now, this time of year. So let's see what's going on with you lovely Leos. I have my moon in Leo myself, so I certainly resonate with Leo energy. I love it. Little known fact about Leos is they love to be the center of attention, but they love to bring others into that center of attention as well. They're not selfish about it. So here we go, Leo. Your first card is getting to know each other, right? I love this. This is usually the beginning of a nice romance. And children. All right. Bottom of the deck, we have retreat. So it could be a couple things going on here. It could be retreating from the world together or alone. Could be retreating from a relationship and getting to know someone else. Children could be involved. So let's just see what that's all going to play out. We're going to get your cards out here with the traditional Rider-Waite deck. And see what it's all about for you, Leo. And 3. Alright, what's going on with our lovely Leos this July 2019 in the area of love relationships, bringing in love, those who want to be in love or those who are already in love and want to hold on to it. See what's going on. Give me a clear picture for those Leos that are going to be tuning into this video so that I can give them a message that resonates with their experience today. Show me. All right. Leo, your first card out the gate is 6 of Pentacles. Now, this card just came out also for Cancer. Interesting. Could be that money is at issue for a lot of people this month. We have 9, the Hermit card, right? The first 9 in the major arcana talking about self-realization, walking the path alone. 5 of Cups, despair. The Fool. Okay, here you are presenting in your own reading. The Fool represents new beginnings, but whenever the Fool shows up, the Fool also represents you, the Quant. Right? On your path through the tree of life. Very, very beautiful card to pull. Queen of Swords. Beautiful. 2 of Swords also came out recently. Judgment. 4 of Pentacles. And 7 of Cups. Wow. Alright, this is going to be quite interesting. 9 of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck. One of my favorite Pentacle cards. Very similar to the Queen of Pentacles in that. Another 9 of Hermits, in that sometimes the abundance that we work for, the money that we work for can isolate us from others, right? We can find ourselves alone in the garden of abundance, right? Alienated from those around us by the wealth that we have attained or the status that we have attained, all right? It's the understanding of knowing that wealth, true wealth, is not worth anything unless you have someone to share it with. It's the last kind of hurdle to get over before ascending to the 10 of Pentacles. All right? Very beautiful energy. Also talks about being quite protective, going inside and really thinking about yourself and how you fit into what you've worked for, the fruits of your labor, right? And trying to find a way to transcend perhaps what you have worked for and how it has alienated you from others. Look at this. We have another 9 right behind it, 9 of Cups. A lot of self-realization going on right now for you, Leos. A lot of being on your own. A lot of walking the path alone, as it were. Not being lonely, being alone. Two very totally different things. So let's get right into it. Six of Pentacles talks about a journey towards harmony in money, understanding, right? So, sixes is the number for journey towards harmony. However, in all levels, we want to have harmony, and that involves money as well, right? So Six of Pentacles comes up when you finally kind of gotten a really healthy attitude towards money. You're not selfish or stingy. You're generous, but you're not generous to a fault either. You're careful. You're considerate. You understand when you need to give and when you need to pull back. It's a very kind of magnanimous place to be, as it were. It can also indicate the ability to provide charity, volunteer work to help others, right? Six of Pentacles comes up when you're kind of someone's caretaker. It could be that you're taking care of someone's money because they can't take care of it themselves. Maybe you're responsible for handing out the stipend each month for someone, right? But it's all in a very caretaking, nurturing way, right? Providing charity, caring for those around you who don't have as much as you do, right? It's a very beautiful energy to have, especially with that Nine of Pentacles, because Nine of Pentacles can be very much that you've worked so hard for so many things, but now you kind of wake up to Six of Pentacles and understanding that the true joy that you get out of everything that you've built up is in sharing it with others, right? Being able to provide or help others, right? Could also be children, right? All right, folks. Sorry about that. Just wanted to adjust my lighting and make sure that you guys were getting enough lighting, because at my angle it doesn't look like it, but everything seems to be fine. All right, so like I said, that's very beautiful energy to have the combination of the Nine of Pentacles with the realization of the Six of Pentacles. I also mentioned this could very much be children. You may be putting them through college. You may be helping other people with their children, right? Because that's where children could factor in. However, 9 is coming in factoring very heavily. So this is all, you're very much on a road of self-realization right now, Leo, with the Hermit coming out strong on top over the center card in your conscience. You're very, very aware of your desire to increase your spirituality, to go deeper, to get stronger, to become more intuitive, right? To exercise those muscles, the extrasensory muscles, your intuitive muscles, your desire to learn even more, right? It's quite interesting. You have retreat here, right? Very much Hermit energy to retreat. You're pulling back from the world, but not because of any hurt per se, but because you desire to be better, more, deeper, understand more. You've come to a place right now, it almost seems as though, where in every part of your life, in your emotional and your physical, your spiritual, you simply want to take stock in a way and just kind of, I want to say, shore up your connection to yourself, right? It's almost as if you want to shore it up. Like I think of a building, right? When a building is being built, and sometimes they shore it, they call it shoring up. They put extra reinforcement in, right? To ensure that as you're building the building, it's sturdy. It's, you know, it's not moving and then causing problems later on, right? It's a real desire right now. It could be also things happening in your life. Certainly with this monetary issue coming in, could be that your money as well as increased. You've gotten to a certain status in your life, right? And now you just want to reevaluate and make sure you're on your path. You want to strengthen your bond that you have with yourself in a way. You know what I mean? Almost like a reaffirmation or a recommitment to yourself, right? I hope you understand what I mean, because it's a very kind of subtle energy. But it's very beautiful when you get to a point in your life where your self-esteem, your confidence, and your self-knowledge is at a level where now you can begin to make promises to yourself. You can recommit to yourself, to your goals, to your spiritual ideals, right? And a recommitment to yourself just ensures that you get rid of behavior patterns that you don't want to display and increase those that you do. It's a conscientious desire to manifest your spiritual path and to increase your confidence in it as well. It's really beautiful energy I'm feeling off you right now, Leo. Five of Cups is there. Certainly, you are reviewing also past relationships that have been difficult, that have been power struggles. 5 is the number for power struggle. And 5 of Cups oftentimes is, it's kind of wallowing in it, right? Remembering kind of the sadness, remembering the sad days, the sad relationships. There's still 2 other cups there that have the opportunity for a positive relationship, but the character is unwilling to turn their attention towards them. They remain fixed with their attention on kind of the spilled cups, right? And I believe more than anything, a lot of this for you is just kind of reviewing the past, right? I don't feel this is a wallowing energy for you. I think it's almost like you're doing a quick review, you know, certainly along the lines with this 9, with this Hermit energy that I'm talking about, this recommitment to yourself. I feel like this is just kind of like a review of past relationships where you've acted in a certain way or where you've allowed people to treat you a certain way. And you're kind of just reviewing that again to fine-tune for the future so you don't make the same mistakes again, so you don't fall into the same habits with individuals, right? And with relationships. I don't think you're necessarily wallowing in this energy, but you're certainly, it's almost as if you're going back to review past relationships with this whole new kind of evolved outlook that you have. Whereas before you may have looked at it, but from a different point of view. Now that you're evolving, you're recommitting to yourself, to be good to yourself, to do things that are good for yourself, to be involved in relationships that are good for you. You're almost kind of just doing a little review now to see where that didn't work out in the past and how you can not repeat the same mistakes, right? Here you are, the Fool, showing up, right? You're on the cusp of something really new, right? You're on the cusp of something really new. And as far as relationship goes, you're very, you're not quite like ready for anything heavy. This whole new thing, you almost feel, you're beginning it on your own. There could be a new relationship coming in, but this is right now your energy is very independent, Leo. It's extremely independent. Even if you're dating, you're not dating with the idea of moving towards marriage right now. Certainly whoever is resonating with this reading isn't, right? If you are dating, it's just for dating's sake, to enjoy yourself right now. I think that you feel very much like you're on the precipice of a new segment in your life that is so exciting for you right now, Leo, that you simply have to enter it alone, right? There's no way to go at it with anyone else or to look at it in terms of meeting someone and going with them into this new segment of your life, right? It's like you want to get into this new area, this new opportunity, this new adventure. It's like you want to get in there and get your feet wet before you even consider bringing a relationship in. Queen of Swords is coming out at the center of the reading. So the center of the reading is always going to, center of this particular love reading is always going to indicate the major point the major energy that you're working with when it comes to relationships this month, or your relationships this month. And it's certainly Queen of Swords, which is, again, beautiful. She's come through the fire. She's learned how to be honest with herself and those around her. And as a result of that, she has piercing insight. It's almost as if you can see, when people are like, perhaps if you're talking to someone, socializing, somebody's lying, just straight out lying or exaggerating. It's as if you can see the moment that they're lying, or you can see the moment that they're exaggerating. It's not even so much an intuition thing. It's just a wisdom thing. It's just you see it, you understand it because you know it. You know what it's like to wear a false mask, and it almost seems as if now that you can see them all around you. Whereas perhaps maybe before you didn't. This is, again, part of this kind of new you. Right? This new you, this new evolved you, this Fool, which is you, which is always the Quarn. The Fool is always the Quarn. In fact, on the Tree of Life, there is no position for the Fool. The Fool is actually, as if the Fool is almost the sap that goes through the Tree of Life, right? As the snake winds around the tree of life, there's no position on the 10 Zephyrah or the 32 or the 22 paths, for the fool. So the fool is you at all times, moving through life, ascending, descending, ascending, descending. And with this new you coming in, is very much a Queen of Swords energy, which is like no more bullshit, no more taking, no more accepting people who aren't who they really are. You see right through them. And as a result of this, there comes a decision, a feeling of a decision that you now need to make. However, Two of Swords is quite interesting. It's the land of indecision, but it's the land, you know, a lot of people read this card as a need to make a decision. It's not so much that. It's more the land of indecision and the realization that to choose one or the other is not what you should be doing, but rather finding a balance. Finding a balance in the duality. 2 is actually the number for duality and coming together as a unit. So in fact, you're not choosing one over the other. And many things, when 2s are involved, you're really learning how to juggle the 2 into a cohesive picture. Sometimes juggling 2 can be quite chaotic and it doesn't work, as with the case of 2 of Pentacles. But here in the 2 of Swords, it's very much a balance of 2 ways of life and 2 ways of thought. Right? It can be reconciling your very logical, responsible side with your wild and crazy, you know, drop your hat, drop everything and go on an adventure side. Do you have to choose one or the other in your life? Do they not equally, do they not weigh equally as something you need in your life? Right? And so once you realize you can't choose, because the swords are exactly the same, the figure realizes she cannot choose. Her emotions are behind her in the river, the running river behind her are her emotions. And she sees by the crescent moon, which is not to see everything. She doesn't see all sides of her choices. And so she's blindfolded and she must go deeper. And in so going deeper, she realizes that it's not about a choice at all, but about a balance. And I think that this is where you're coming to as a result of this hermit energy, this honesty that's coming through as the Queen of Swords, and this reevaluating past relationship, this aspect, if you see the quadrant, it's a 4 aspects here in the corner, 2 of Swords, this realization now of the 2 sides of you. There's 2 sides of you, Leo, and not one of them needs to take over, right? There needs to be a balance. There needs to be a duality between the 2. They both need to be in your lives. And I think this is very much 2 sides of you, right? One side could be the side that brings in relationships that cause you pain. But that side also benefits you in other ways. For instance, example. You may be one of these people that one side of you is very adventurous and wild. You love the excitement of hitting the open road. And so sometimes you get involved with individuals who are like-minded in that way. They also like the excitement of the open road, of dropping everything and going off an adventure, moving to another town and, you know, and living in a new town with a new job, or opening up something somewhere, moving down to the shore and opening up a beach hut or whatever, right? This kind of excitement, right? But choosing... involving yourself with those type of personalities oftentimes leads you to heartache, problems, issues down the line, right? So your initial thought may be, well, I have to stop, you know, I have to stop engaging or indulging that exciting side of myself, that passionate side of myself. And it's through all of this kind of shadow work that you come here to the 2 of Swords. You drop your mask here at the Queen of Swords. You do the deep work and you realize, hang on a second, I don't need to drop that side of me. I don't need to turn my back on my passionate, exciting side. I just need to balance it. I need to integrate it. I need to learn how to focus that energy so that when I do indulge in it, it comes out to be something positive and not negative. And that is the beauty of the 2 of Swords. Understanding that it's not about a choice, but about a balance, about a melding, almost an alchemy, right? Almost like alchemy, almost like temperance, right? The Sagittarian card. But that is the beauty of the 2 of Swords and coming to that realization. And that's the example I mean, right? And so as you review some of your weaknesses and strengths in relationships, and you do this shadow work and you're honest with yourself, you come to this realization, and in comes judgment. You finally let go of the guilt. After you come to this realization, now you no longer have guilt anymore about it, right? You don't have to feel guilty because you followed this person down the path of a crazy relationship, because you forgive yourself. You understand why you did it. You understand that it's human. You understand that it's a part of you, right? You see, judgment is seeing all sides and having empathy and seeing that ultimately it's us who put ourselves on guilt trips. It's we who put our own sort of emotional and spiritual selves under turmoil when we put unnecessary guilt trips on ourselves for being who we are. Or we take on responsibilities for others that are not our responsibility. Once you come to this understanding of this balance and duality within yourself, you have this beautiful epiphany, this judgment day, where you're just letting go of a lot of baggage. And again, as an aspect to this reading, it supports your Fool. It supports you going into this next segment of your life. Right? So the Fool moving into his next segment is surrounded by Queen of Swords and Judgment energy. Honesty and letting go of baggage as a result of all of this. That is how the interpretation comes in, right? And after that, you find stability, Four of Pentacles, right? On top of the, you start to have a stability, but also take care not to then be too worried or too... Four of Energies is very miserly, protective energy. It's insisting on holding on to stability to such a degree that it's no longer stable, that any like little thing can come along and create chaos, right? It's a warning, Four of Pentacles, right? It's a warning that sometimes you have to give to get. Sometimes you have to lose a little bit of stability to maintain stability, if you know what I mean. Or lose a little bit of the knowing every little step that's coming, right? Sometimes the Four of Pentacles is very much like, needs to know what's going to happen next, needs to know where all their money is working only for money, never wants to spend any money, never wants to enjoy the money. And so you end up becoming not only trapped and kind of lost in a way, but you become very unstable. Four being the number of stability, in fact, you become unstable. So it's a warning for you that as you come out of this new energy, take care with your finances. Can also be that you come out of this energy being too generous, being too much like you want to throw, you know, your money around and your support around. So again, take care. Hold on to what you have. Don't hold on too tight, but hold on, right? Four of Pentacles is very much a warning card depending on which side of the coin you're coming in. And then, of course, now, after all of that, your world kind of opens again. The world is your oyster again. Seven of Cups, right? You have all kinds of fantasies to choose from, dreams, goals, hopes, and wishes. You're daydreaming now. The world kind of opens up for you. You suddenly daydream about living a certain life that maybe before you never thought you could. But be careful. There is another warning in the Seven of Cups. Be careful what you wish for. Some cards have natural warnings inherent in them because of the energy that's associated with that card. Seven of Cups has a natural warning because seven is the number of dreams and aspirations. And anything to do with dreams and aspirations always has a warning sign in because it talks to the heart. It talks to our kind of knee-jerk reactions, right? Our reactive responses. Be careful what you wish for. Sometimes you get what you wish for and it's not at all what you want. It's certainly when what you wish for is something like vanity, pride, you know, false success at the expense of others, quick success, you know what I mean? Shallow dreams or dreams that aren't in some way anchored to the spiritual, to the higher spiritual side of yourself are dreams you should be careful of wishing for because when they come in, they always come in at a cost, a price. I had to take a sip of iced coffee there. Sorry. This is a beautiful reading, Leo. Beautiful reading. You are very much evolving. And I say this a lot about my love readings. Love readings don't always just talk about the specific relationship that you're in or that's coming in for you. A lot of times it can talk about whatever space you're at in your life or whatever place you are in your involvement that allows love to come in. All of this is necessary for you to allow a certain kind of relationship to come in now. a happier relationship, a better relationship, a healthier relationship, right? Interestingly enough, you have getting to know each other coming in. And I think that that's very much about you, not necessarily someone else. It's almost like getting to know each other, meaning getting to know the two sides of yourself, getting to know who the other Leo is, right? You got two Leos in the house, you know, and one may be very responsible and one may be very passionate and, you know, live by the seat of the pants. And it's like, hey, you two have to get to know each other and start to come to an agreement, so you guys can go forward together with that balance, with that duality. Certainly, I do believe children are involved, but I think children have a lot more to do with your finances at the beginning. And this very much sets off, like I said, it sets off this whole kind of like retreat, right? Spiritual retreat, hermit energy. Whenever you're doing a love reading and you have so many nines coming in and hermit energy coming in, you know, it's very much about self-realization before you can actually, you know, come close to anyone. Show me what's going on with our lovely Leos this month. Show me a sign. Show me affirmations, warnings, reaffirmations, right? Things to look out for Leo as they go through this period of evolvement, really. Cards are very jumpy. There's a lot of energy going on with you right now, Leo. Give me a clear clarity. We want to go a little bit deeper with these cards. So show me. Leo, July 2019, show me. The world or universe. Six of Swords, Ace of Wands, Star, 17. The Emperor at the center, interesting. Prince of Cups, Seven of Swords, Ten of Pentacles. I don't read Thoth in reverse. And High Priestess. Always coming in with the High Priestess. We have Queen of Cups. So, I think here we now get a lot more into the love aspect, okay? Because we've got Queen of Cups, which certainly means that you're definitely ready to hand your cup of love to someone. The universe is coming in, right? 21 will be the World card in the traditional deck. So again, the universe comes in when we are really kind of, we feel in tune with our spiritual path. We feel we're very much where we're supposed to be. It's that kind of like partner time in our lives where everything has come to this point and you're happy it came to this point, right? You're happy about everything that you've been through, right? Sometimes we have regret in our life, but there are times in our lives where we are so thankful for everything we've been through because we're so thankful for this precise moment that we're finding ourselves in. And we know that had it not been for the culmination of all the things that went before, we would not be here. And so you're really having that kind of feeling right now, certainly with your finances increasing. Right? This increase in finance that's allowing you to be more generous, to take care of others, right, is really bringing you to this level of like great gratitude and understanding that you are exactly where you should be on your life path. Six of Swords, right? So Six of Swords, Mercury and Aquarius energy, talking about wanting to move away from disharmony, wanting to move away from discord and move towards harmony. Six is being the number of moving towards harmony, journeys towards harmony. And so, like I say, this whole kind of shift, right, has caused you to go into this hermit, this very positive hermit mode, right, of recommitting yourself to your spiritual growth, recommitting yourself to always moving towards harmony, moving towards positive relationships. I think this is also certainly a reading for those of you Leos who have been feeling quite good for a while now. You've done what you needed. You've said goodbye to a lot of negative things, and you really deserve a pat on the back for it. And you're feeling it right now. You're feeling good. You feel good because there have been quite a few times now in the recent past, let's say last several months to even a year, where there's been situations where, had it been 5 years ago, it might have turned real ugly. You know what I mean? Had it been 5, 10 years ago, and that, Leo, it would have been not the way it turned out. But because it's you who you are today, you're very proud of how you've handled those situations. You are very positive and creative in handling those situations. It wasn't easy, but you did it. You know, example could be taking the high road. You know, example could be like just being out in public and, you know, being out with friends, socializing, and, you know, somebody bumps into you and gets a really bad attitude. You know, it could be that 5 years ago, that would have turned into a physical altercation. You might have knocked them right on their behind. But now, it's like you don't. You take the higher road, you decide to turn your back on that, and you feel good about it. Right? You feel yourself vibrating higher. You feel yourself being more in touch with who you are in your soul, deep down inside your spirit, and that positive energy. And that positive feeling is kind of reaffirming that you're doing everything right. In fact, you would never want to go back to that person you were before. Ace of Wands, coming in as inspiration on top of the 5 of Cups. Now, this Ace of Wands could be a new love interest coming in. They didn't factor heavy in the original spread because right now, July is very, very much all about you and you in your personal journey. However, there is something there. A little spark, right? A little, an eye, maybe caught someone's eye, right? But it's something, and it's something worth noticing, right? And it could be the start of something really great. Now, this thing, this little, I want to say little flirtation or little inkling of a possible new relationship could also be one of the reasons why you've gone back into your 5 of Cups to review where you were at before, because you very much don't want to make the same mistakes you made before. You're feeling great about the new you and about how you're exhibiting a new set of behaviors, right? And so because of that, you're also desperate not to make the same mistakes. You have that spiritual strength now to be able to actually go back and learn from your mistakes. You've been reaffirmed, like I said, and so now you're able to do that without it turning into like a big, heavy, you know, where someone else who's at a different kind of spiritual level, right, in their spiritual evolution, right, at a different part. I don't want to say level I don't want to indicate that anyone's higher or lower, but just at a different place, right, in their spiritual evolution. They may not yet be able to think about past relationships without it being very, very painful. And so they can't get what they need out of it. They can't get the lesson out of it just yet because it still hurts. You're past that. It doesn't hurt anymore. You can go back and get the lesson out of it and look at it very objectively. Star is coming in for Fool. So your wish fulfillment is coming in line with the manifestations in your life. So when I say the Fool shows up, it's always the Querent. Always represents you, but the conscious understanding that you are exactly where you should be, and not only that, that you should probably be very aware of what's going on around you, take stock, because you're about to take a new segment on that path, right? Well, that path is coming directly in line with your wish fulfillment, everything you've always wanted. This new leg of your journey, right, is in line with what you've always truly desired, Leo. And it could be a certain lifestyle. It could be you now work for yourself, or you now work in a field you always worked for. You now live somewhere. You now have a certain type of relationship, beginning of a relationship possibly coming in that you've always wanted, right? Whatever this new segment in the Fool's Travels is, it is very much in line with the wishes that you've been throwing out to the universe for quite some time. And your person coming in, whoever this person is, this little tete-a-tete, this little flirtation, right, could be a very, very strong individual. I believe it's this person, the Emperor. They're coming in hard. And I don't mean hard for you, like strong or like, hey, let's get together, No, but they're coming in hard in terms of the impression that they're making. They're making an incredible impression on you, right? Emperor is Aries energy. But this could be it could be any zodiac sign. I'm not even going to get into that nonsense about it could be an Aries. It could be any zodiac sign. Whoever it is, though, they emit this kind of strong energy, this mentor energy. They've certainly got a certain level of success. They're natural born leaders. They have a lot of respect amongst their peers. They're honest. They have integrity. It's all of these things that's catching your eye. And I say that because you are emitting Queen of Swords. So it would have to naturally be all of those positive traits of the Emperor that would catch your eye. Because you're in your Queen of Swords right now. So you're not being duped. You're not looking, you know what I mean? It's not like this person, somebody can come into you now with a false face. You know, this person, it must, you know, in order for them to get your attention right now, they must be very genuine, right? In that energy that they're bringing forward. Very passionate, very fiery. Not necessarily looking at you just yet, but you see them. They may be looking at you also, but interestingly enough, right now, the two characters are facing away from each other, but it's early days. All right, so when I say here, this integration of self, we've got Prince of Cups coming in. So the Prince of Cups is quite interesting because the Prince of Cups is all about getting to know your own feelings, who you really are. If you notice, the eagle that his chariot is riding on, right, only skims the water. It only skims the water. It's not in the water yet, right? His lotus flower is hanging upside down, looking into the water, right? So it talks about that stage where someone is only just now beginning to kind of understand and dive deep into their own desires and wishes and hopes and dreams. It can be quite a dark place when you go inside and you really look at the things that you desire and the things that you wish for emotionally, the things that make you happy emotionally, right? I mean, we say that, right? Why can it be a dark place? People ask, why should it be? Well, because some of us go inside and we find out that maybe watching other people be in pain is something that makes us feel good. Oh, shit. Where did that come from? This is what we mean when we talk about going inside and sometimes looking at the sides of yourself that are unpleasant, right? And you know, people, I'm sure there are people out there who have that experience like that. And we all have that experience like that. And so when you truly get into Prince of Cups energy, which is really starting to skim the surface of your emotions and desires in preparation of going quite deep, which is the next stage, which would be the Queen of Cups. She's now completely gone down. She mirrors as below, so above. But in Prince of Cups, he's only beginning. And so a lot of this is to do with this kind of balancing of the two sides of yourself. A lot of it is really you also getting into your Prince of Cups energy in the sense of figuring out who it is you are, right? Figuring out what your emotions are. Now, Prince of Cups is also the Knight of Cups. And so in that way, it's also understanding what will move the Knight of Cups. What makes you move forward towards someone, right? It's because the Prince of Cups doesn't fully understand his feelings that it accounts for the lack of commitment of the card. The Knight of Cups is known to be the most flighty knight in the deck, but that's because he is only now beginning to understand his emotions. He may say he loves you today, and he does very much love you today. And then the next day he has totally different feelings, and those feelings are valid too. He's on a journey right now of really getting to understand who he is. And so it could be that you are yourself emitting that kind of Knight of Cups energy. Remember I said earlier, you're not really wanting any kind of serious commitment or relationship. And it could be very much that a part of this integration of the two sides of yourself is that energy, that Knight of Cups kind of, yeah, I want to dance around. I just want to enjoy. I want to flirt. I want to date. I don't want a commitment. I want to get to know who I am. What do I really want in a relationship, right? I've learned here, going back my mistakes. Now I want to know what it is I want, right? There's a lot of sides. There's understanding your strengths and weaknesses, but there's also understanding your desires, right? And that's where you're at with that. Certainly coming out of this, and with this person coming in and getting your like little attention as well, again, that brings in not only Five of Cups looking back, but also this Prince of Cups energy, trying to figure out, well, why do I like this person? Why are they getting, like, why? I'm not into any relationship right now, but damn, I'm thinking about them anyway. Seven of Swords comes in over Judgment, right? So the Judgment is really understanding that over the, understanding how futile it's been. Right? How up until now, up until you come to a point of dropping your judgment, your guilt for yourself. Everything, it has been futile. You know, all attempts have been futile. This is Moon in Aquarius energy, Seven of Swords. You know, it's kind of like, you know, you can't reach your goals by cutting corners, right? You can't be spiritually whole unless you learn how to drop the guilt, the bondage, you know, the burdens, the baggage, you know, all of that. Until you drop that, you can't really completely fulfill your dreams, and it will always feel kind of like, you know, like you never really got what you wanted, like you only got a piece of it, or whatever piece of the dream you got doesn't last long. It always seems to be a futile effort, right? Things don't work out. And then now I think you understand that has been perhaps maybe some of the reasons why in the past issues have come up. It has felt a little bit futile. It has felt a little bit like hollow victories sometimes, right? Can be also people coming in for you as well. Once you realize that, once you come out of this kind of like, you're in this kind of new phase, right? Once you drop your own kind of guilt and misery, a lot of times it can bring others into us who now they want a piece of our good feeling, right? Seven of Swords is very much the thief in the night. It's also that energy, right? In the traditional deck, he's the one who comes along and takes, you know, the 5 of the 7 swords in the middle of the night and sneaks away with him. He's, you know, he's the one who steals and covets your dreams. So oftentimes this kind of energy will come out whenever somebody's evolving or getting better at their own spiritual growth, because people around are haters and they always want to have a piece of that growth, or they want to have a piece of that positive energy. Without the work, they just kind of want to take it somehow. It's almost like taking your spiritual victory, right? And that could just be people just talking, you know, just that could just be in communication. You may be coming across people that you talk to who may be kind of like trying to, like, you know, knock the wind out of your sails a little bit because they see you flourishing, right? So just take care of that energy. That could be one of, you know, it's so sad, but it always happens. You know, it could make you want to retreat, but don't. You know, it's very fleeting. It's kind of, the Seven of Swords is very much kind of a reaction by others to kind of you unburdening yourself. And here we go, Four of Pentacles. Yeah, to have true stability, true stability and abundance, you have to understand this Four of Pentacles. So taking care to protect what you've worked for, but not holding on to it for money's sake. Like I said before, sometimes you have to give money to get money. Sometimes you have to spend money to make money, right? And you certainly have to spend money to enjoy it and to understand why you made it in the first place. And 10 of Coins comes in, 10 of Pentacles comes in to show you that abundance is coming your way. There's no need for you to hold on so tightly to what you've worked for. More is coming in. More abundance is coming in for you. Okay, so don't worry. Right, so this is to reaffirm not to worry too much, right? Because it's worry that gets us in that kind of miserly energy, right? So don't worry. Abundance is coming in. It's flowing in, certainly. And High Priestess comes in beautiful on top of Seven of Cups. Like I said, be careful what you wish for. And the way to be careful is to always employ High Priestess, who is your deeper intuitive side. Always use your intuition. Always follow your gut, right? Don't just follow the surface. Don't just follow. All that glitters is not gold. You know, certainly when you're dealing with wish fulfillment and trying to manifest your goals and your dreams, you always have to keep keep a connection to that inner voice. You know, that's the High Priestess. She's your inner voice. She's your wisdom. She's your intuitive link to the spiritual, to who you are spiritually, right? She allows you to tap into certain energies that keep you grounded and that keep you focused along your spiritual path, that keep, you know, the actions that you take in line with your moral and spiritual compass, right? And certainly when it comes to wish fulfillment, it's the same. So beautiful energy coming in. There is inklings of a relationship starting, but it's only inklings, only inklings. And right now, this is really kind of like I said, you are in a holding pattern. You're not ready for any kind of major relationship. You want this dream to get going so you know where you're going to be at. But there is someone out there. There's someone who's caught your eye, and we shall have to check in next month to see if the next month's reading kind of resonates with that, or if something's come on, you know, followed on from this meeting with this Emperor. Also, check out mid-July. Mid-July, I'll be putting out a reading to see where we're at mid-month, and we could also be, hopefully, you know, maybe that reading will also touch on a little bit of progress here with this Emperor. But certainly, you know, when you look at the reading, you can see this, the energy, the red, the gorgeous coloring just coming out, right? So that's what I mean. Somebody's like, despite your best intentions, right, of being independent and moving along your path with all this shadow work, you just can't get this Emperor out of your head. All right, Leo, I love you so much. I'm going to call it, this is the July love reading for Leos 2019. All right, this resonated with you. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, and share. All of that good stuff. If you want a private reading, just follow the link at below on the bottom of your screen to schedule one. But for right now, have a wonderful, wonderful July 2019. Bye-bye, Leos.